14-year-old Emily Carter had never wanted to move to Ridgeview High. New town, new school, new people who didn't know her, didn't understand her, I didn't care to. She was quiet, soft-spoken, and carried herself like someone who had learned the hard way that blending in was often safer than standing out. But that first Tuesday morning changed everything. Emily was standing near her locker, clutching her books, trying to memorize the hall numbers. She hated first days. Her palms sweated, her heart raced, and she kept reminding herself of what her mother always said: walk smart, walk calm, walk aware. Her mom, Commander Sarah Carter, wasn't like other moms. Sarah had served 12 years in the U.S. Navy SEALs, one of the few women tough enough to survive the training pipeline, and one of the even fewer allowed on several covert missions. But Emily never bragged about it. Until that day, three kids from the sophomore football team, Jason Ward, Colin Price, and Brent Foster, were messing around near the lockers when they saw Emily. Jason nudged the others, smirking. "Hey, new girl," he said loudly. "You lost." Emily shook her head quietly. "Just fine in my English class." Jason stepped in front of her. "You look nervous. You scared or something?" Colin snorted. "Probably homesick. What did your mommy do? Tuck you in with a teddy bear?" Emily swallowed. She hated confrontation, but she also hated lies about her mother. "She's in the military," Emily said softly. Jason lifted an eyebrow. "Oh, army cook? Laundry crew? Something easy." "No, Emily whispered. She was a Navy SEAL." Silence. Then, explosive laughter. Jason grabbed his stomach. "A woman? A Navy SEAL? Oh my God, that's adorable." Colin leaned closer. "New girl, don't lie. Women don't even do SEAL missions. That's dude stuff." Emily shook her head. "It's true. Brent shoved her shoulder. "Shut up." She stumbled back. Colin kicked her backpack. "Don't make up stories to look cool." "I'm not." Jason's face turned cold. "I said shut up. Nobody likes a liar." And then he kicked her shin. Hard. Emily gasped and dropped her books. The three boys walked past her, laughing as she knelt on the floor, holding back tears. Tea lunch. Emily sat alone behind the cafeteria, trying not to cry. She pulled her phone from her pocket. One unread message blinked. "Amon, everything okay?" "First day going smooth." Emily stared at the words. She wanted to lie. She wanted to pretend everything was fine. But her leg throbbed, her pride felt bruised, and the humiliation burned deeper than the kick. She typed slowly. "Mom, they didn't believe you were a SEAL. They kicked me." She regretted sending it the moment her thumb hit the screen. Her mom was probably busy training, coaching, advising, working in security operations. She didn't need this stress, but Sarah Carter read the message instantly. "Then, stay where you are. I'm coming." Emily's eyes widened. "And Mom, no, don't, too late." Message delivered. In the boys' locker room. Jason, Colin, and Brent were still laughing. Jason mimicked Emily's tiny voice. "My mom's a Navy SEAL." Brent wiped fake tears. "Dude, I swear, these new kids say anything for attention." Colin tossed his football bag on the bench. "She should learn her place. This is Ridgeview High. Earn respect or shut up." Jason smirked. "Exactly." Suddenly, the locker room door swung open. Everyone turned at a woman in civilian clothes, jeans, boots, and a simple black jacket, stepped inside. Commander Sarah Carter. She didn't look angry. She didn't yell. She didn't even raise her voice. Her presence alone was enough. Sharp eyes. Controlled breathing. Posture straight as steel. Jason muttered, this is the guy's locker room." Sarah held up her ID badge. Department of Defense. Jason's jaw dropped. A SEAL badge hung attached. And suddenly, the room filled with dead silence. Sarah's voice was low, almost calm. "Which one of you boys is Jason Ward?" Jason felt his legs shake. Me, ma'am." She stepped closer. "Which one of you kicked my daughter?" Colin and Brent immediately looked at Jason. Sarah's eyes didn't blink. Jason swallowed hard. "Ma'am, it was just a joke. I didn't think. Stop." She held up a hand. "I don't want excuses. I want honesty." The boys froze. Sarah continued, her tone controlled. "Emily is quieter than most. She doesn't talk about my service because she doesn't want to intimidate anyone. But she told you the truth. She told you something personal, and you humiliated her for it. Jason's mouth opened, but no words came out. Sarah stepped even closer, her voice ice cold. In BUD/S training, I carried men twice your size through freezing surf. I've jumped from aircraft at 30,000 feet. I've been shot at, blown off my feet, and hunted in jungles you can't even pronounce. But do you know what scares me? Jason shook his head. The idea that my daughter thinks she has to lie about who she is because of boys like you. Jason's eyes lowered. I'm sorry. I'm not the one you should apologize to. A counselor brought Emily to the hallway outside the locker room. She walked slowly, confused, but when she saw her mother, her breath caught. And Mom, what are you doing here? Sarah turned, her expression softening instantly. Sweetheart, come here. Emily rushed into her arms. Sarah held her tightly. Behind them, Jason, Colin, and Brent stood with their heads lowered, more terrified than guilty. Sarah whispered to her daughter, "Nobody touches you. Ever." Emily looked up. "But I don't want you to get in trouble." Sarah shook her head. "I didn't lay a hand on them. I'm just teaching them something their parents should have." She stepped back and looked at the boys, apologized to her. Properly. Colin stepped forward first. "Emily, we're really sorry. We shouldn't have said those things." Brent nodded. "We didn't know. We were just stupid." Jason stepped last. His voice cracked. "I'm sorry for kicking you. I was wrong. And your mom is really a SEAL. That's actually amazing." Emily blinked. Jason continued, "It won't happen again. From any of us." Sarah nodded. "Good. Because respect isn't something you demand. It's something you earn." The principal, Dr. Lauren Hale, arrived moments later. She pulled Sarah aside. "Ma'am, I understand your daughter was assaulted. I deeply apologize. We will take disciplinary action immediately." Sarah nodded respectfully. "Thank you. I'm not here for punishment. I'm here so Emily knows she isn't alone." Dr. Hale smiled softly. "You're a good mother." Sarah exhaled. "I'm trying." By the next morning, rumors had spread through the entire school. "Did you hear the new girl's mom confronted the football players?" She didn't even yell, just stared them down. "I heard she was a Navy SEAL. No wonder those guys looked like they saw a ghost." Emily walked through the hallway, and for the first time, people moved aside for her instead of bumping into her. A girl named Alyssa Monroe approached with a smile. "Hey, Emily, right? We save you a seat at lunch if you want." Emily blinked. "Really? Yeah. Anybody whose mom is a SEAL is cool in my book." Emily felt her cheeks warm. "Thanks." Jason and his friends walked by slowly. They didn't avoid her. They nodded respectfully. Jason whispered, "Sorry again." Emily nodded back. Something inside her felt lighter. For the first time in a long time, she felt safe. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Grow for Justice for more powerful and emotional stories. Your support helps keep these stories coming. That evening, Emily sat with her mom on the porch. "Mom," she said quietly, "were you mad at me?" Sarah shook her head firmly. "No, I was proud of you, but I didn't fight back." "You didn't need to," Sarah said. "Strength isn't always about punching. Sometimes it's about telling the truth, even when people won't believe you." Emily looked down. "Do you think they'll leave me alone now?" Sarah smiled. "Yes. And if they don't, they now know exactly who to deal with." Emily laughed softly, leaning on her mother's shoulder. "Mom?" "Yes, sweetheart. I'm glad you showed up." Sarah kissed the top of her head. "I'll always show up." During PE, Jason approached Emily again, but this time he wasn't smirking. "Hey, do you maybe want to join our group? We're doing team drills and could use someone fast." Emily hesitated. "You're not joking, right?" Jason shook his head. "No jokes. I mean, your mom trained you, right? You probably run better than us." Emily cracked a tiny smile. "Maybe." Colin raised a football. "Show us." Emily shrugged. "Okay, but don't cry when I outrun you." The boys exchanged surprised smiles, and she did outrun them. Easily by the end of class. Even the coach was impressed. "Carter, where did you learn agility like that?" Emily simply said, "My mom." 2 months later, Emily wasn't the quiet new girl anymore. She had friends, confidence, strength. Not because of her mom seal background, but because she learned to stand tall on her OWTA school assembly honoring veterans. Sarah was invited as the guest speaker. She walked onto the stage, and the gym erupted into applause. Emily sat in the front row, glowing with pride. Sarah began, "Most people think strength is about muscle or power, but real strength is telling the truth, even when the world laughs at you for it. My daughter taught me that." Emily covered her face, embarrassed but smiling. And to the students here, Sarah continued, "Remember, someone's story may be unbelievable to you, but that doesn't make it untrue." Jason nodded quietly in the crowd. Sarah finished, "Respect each other. It's the simplest thing and the hardest thing." The school stood and clapped. Emily felt tears in her eyes. Her mother had been a Navy SEAL, but today she was something even bigger. Her hero. This story is brought to you by Grow for Justice. If you enjoyed this emotional and powerful journey, subscribe to Grow for Justice comment where you're watching from Share This Story to support the channel.